This is part 2 of our series on pentatonic voicings. It would probably be a good idea to watch part 1 first if you haven't done so already. You can click on this iCard or just use the link provided in the description. So if I lower the C to a B on a C minor pentatonic, it's just a minor pentatonic flat 1. The cool thing about this scale is that it offers a tritone, which is not found anywhere in the minor pentatonic. This will be a great property that we can use to create pentatonic voicings for dominant chords. You need that tritone if you want to sound dominant. Remember, the method that we're using to turn these pentatonic scales into voicings is to play all 5 notes in the scale by skipping every other note. So here's the C minor pentatonic. We flatten the 1 and we get this scale. If we use skips starting on the 1st degree, we get this. So now we have a tritone on the left hand and an E flat major triad on the right hand. This is a really cool voicing for a G7 chord. And we can use it on many other chords, but let's not worry about that for now. Let's just focus on learning these voicings without any specific chord in mind. Think of them as just voicings. For today, we'll learn how to play them really well and make them part of our voicings vocabulary. So if we take it for a ride across all degrees of the scale, we get this. So this voicing I think sounds terrible. I really don't like the sound of this one because this flat 9 here against one of the notes of the tritone creates a little too much dissonance for my taste. Actually, I think that's a good rule to follow moving forward. When you have a tritone in your voicing, any note that's a flat 9 below that tritone will make the voicing sound completely dissonant. I try to avoid these voicings in my playing. Is the voicing wrong? Not really. Nothing is really wrong in music. I just happen to dislike the tension. So I've decided to never use voicings like that. But hey, that's just me. You let your ears decide what's cool for you or not. I like to avoid any voicing with any notes that are a flat 9 below a tritone. So here's your practice session for today's concept. Play the minor pentatonic and then play the same scale but with a flat 1. And we're only going to use and practice the voicings that follow our flat 9 rule. Voicings 1, 2, and 4. Play it slowly and pay attention to where the tritone appears in the voicing. Now take it for a spin through all keys chromatically. Play the first voicing in all keys. Notice and pay attention to all of the intervals that you're playing. These are not chords, they're voicings. Don't try to put a name to them, just learn the shape. Play the voicing starting on the 2nd note. Step 5, start on the 4th note. Step 6. By the way, this should be your daily challenge once you've mastered steps 1 through 5. Use a 12-tone row, which is nothing more than all 12 notes in random order without repeated notes. Choose any of the 3 voicings. Use the notes in the row as your bottom note and play the same voicing from note to note. We've added tone rows with every voicing in the PDF. You can use a metronome or a drums groove. Practice at really slow tempos at first and then increase the tempo gradually over time. See how far you can take it without making any mistakes. It's a great practice routine. In our next videos, we'll get into using these voicings in actual jazz standards. And later on, we'll look into a couple more pentatonic scales, which are great for other types of chords like diminished chords and so on. Thanks again for watching. All of our members will get a PDF of today's exercise. If you'd like to become a member, go ahead and click on that join button or the link down below. That would really help us out. If you're a new member and would like access to some of our old content, go ahead and check out our Music Theory Journal. It's basically an almanac of all of our previously consolidated stuff. Check out mdex.com for all our other courses and books. YouTube seems to think you're gonna like one of these 2 videos here. Go ahead and stick around and check those out. Thanks for watching.